I'm Mr. Johnson, and this is Related Conditionals. There are other statements that can be made that are based on given conditional statements. These are called related conditionals. We already discussed how a conditional statement is a statement that can be written in the form of if P, then Q. A statement is called a converse of the conditional if it's formed by exchanging the hypothesis and the conclusion of the conditional. If Q, then P. The inverse of a conditional is formed by negating both the hypothesis and conclusion of the conditional. It's represented by these symbols. Tilde P yields tilde Q, or if not P, then not Q. And finally, the contrapositive is formed by negating both the hypothesis and the conclusion of the converse of the conditional. In other words, flip and negate. A conditional and a contrapositive are either both true or both false together. Similarly, an inverse and a converse are either both true or both false together. Statements with the same truth value are said to be logically equivalent. If a conditional is true, the converse may or may not be true. You have to use your best judgment. But the conditional and the contrapositive will always have the same truth value, and the converse and the inverse will always have the same truth value. Let's consider this conditional statement. Lions are cats that can roar. Well, first we need to construct the conditional. We'll write it in an if-then form. If an animal is a lion, then it is a cat that can roar. Well, based on information from the Encyclopedia Britannica, this is a true statement. The converse would be, if an animal is a cat that can roar, then it is a lion. But here's your counterexample. A tiger is a cat that can roar, but it's not a lion. Therefore, the converse is false. The inverse would be, if an animal is not a lion, then it is not a cat that can roar. But a good counterexample to this would be, a tiger is not a lion, but it is a cat that can roar, so therefore the inverse is also false. And finally, the contrapositive. If an animal is not a cat that can roar, then it is not a lion. Well, based on the information at the left, that statement is also true. The real takeaway here is that the conditional and its contrapositive are logically equivalent, while the converse of a conditional and the inverse of that conditional are also logically equivalent.